Hello, and welcome to the Success Showcase. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin from the Modern Observer Group. And with me, as always, is Chip Janiszewski from the Happiness and Success GPS. Chip, how you doing this week?
I am doing fantastic. How about you, Eric?
I am doing well.
June is busting out all over, and I finally got to meet my grandson, who is now 5 weeks old, twice, Memorial Day and yesterday. So I'm a happy grandpa. What can I say?
Excellent. And of course, we're recording this a little before, but as this goes live, it's going live on your birthday. So happy birthday.
Again?
These things seem to come around every year. I don't.
Hey, as the old saying goes, it's better to have them than not. So
Exactly.
but thank you so much. And look, I always have fun on my birthday. Anybody who says that they don't, they're lying.
That's it. And again, as you said, it's much better than the alternative.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our special guest this week is LeAnn Johnson. LeAnn has just started a new business, Olive and Thistle, and we will talk a bit about this. LeAnn, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. So why don't we start off, tell our audience what Olive and Thistle is and how you got started.
Well, Olive and Thistle is an offering of very fine extra virgin olive oils, infused flavors as well, balsamic vinegars, all different varieties, also with flavor infusions and culinary spices. So we kind of invite you to travel the globe culinary wise and do some fun cooking. And we got started because after about 20 years in banking, I decided to do something different. And in the middle of COVID, I left banking and started to think about what I wanted to be when I grow up. So this was it. I've always loved to cook, and I'm always experimenting with different olive oils. And I just decided that's it. That's my thing. So I pitched it to my husband, and he thought it was a great idea. And here we are in business.
Fantastic. That is a big switch, moving from banking into food, especially food retail. How long have you been cooking? What was your involvement with cooking before this?
Well, really, I grew up cooking with my dad, who's a really good cook, and my grandmother taught me to bake. And we were always surrounded by good food. I grew up in a very Scottish household, so when I went out onto my own, I just started experimenting with different types of cooking. I love Italian, and I just became quite good at it. I don't use recipes. I throw stuff in. So I do write recipes, and that's my biggest challenge because I'm just a throw things in and see how it comes out kind of person. And now I have to discipline myself to measure and record what I'm using to cook. But I've always loved it, and my husband and I, we have a family of 6, so there's a lot of cooking to do. So I do it every day anyway. I thought, you know what, I might as well earn some money doing this and having a little fun with it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I understand the need for a little discipline in putting those recipes together. For years, my son asked me to actually write down my chili recipe, which of course was never exactly the same thing twice. And when he moved out, I gave him a gift of writing it all down for him so he could make his own.
Oh, that's great. That's great. My dad and I would cook dishes together when I was a kid, and I still make them today. And I had to ask him to write them down. So, I understand that. But yeah, big challenge there trying to get it all right. But I'm slowly getting used to it.
So, with all of the options you had, what drew you to olive oil of all things?
So I studied nutrition actually in college, and so I've always known about its incredible health benefits, and and we're learning more and more every year about the health properties and what it does. I just put a blog post up this past week about how arthritis is actually affected in a good way. You can treat the symptoms with olive oil use. So and there's growing research that it actually reduces your chances of getting Alzheimer's. I'm a health eater, So it's always been one of my favorite ingredients. And the more I decided to learn about it, the more I thought that's where I want to put the focus of the business.
Yeah, and you have a really nice article in your website. It says LeAnn's olive oil lowdown. I can feel it in my bones. That talks all about Arthritis Awareness Month. Last month. It's June already, but it's very, very informative. And I love the mission. It's a 100% online business, correct?
Yes, it is at this point. Yeah, we've talked, and if it makes sense going forward to open a retail location, we'd love to do that. But we're seeing how we do online.
Yeah. Obviously, you could probably take it on the road and just do some tastings at different places too for, events and that kind of thing. But no, it looks like a lot of fun. And with me, having married an Italian, I finally figured out after, a couple of years what EVOO means on the shopping list. Extra. So, but it's wonderful.
It's good stuff. It's great. It's, I focus a lot on the health properties of it, but you know what, at the end of the day, it's delicious and it makes your food awesome. So, this is a win-win.
No, and having the wine vinegars on there and the unique spice blends, I mean, that gives you everything to make just a wonderful salad, to wonderful meals, to all kinds of different things. So it's really, they complement each other very, very well.
Thank you. And that was the plan. Yeah, we really put a lot of focus into, what flavors to offer, and we'll expand as we go. But I think we opened with a really good showing. So we have 13 different olive oils. We've got a dozen different, we got 14 olive oils, 13 vinegars, and 20 custom spice blends. So there's a lot of fun things to cook with here. And I will tell you, my family is loving me experimenting with it all and bringing something new to the table every night. So yeah, we're having a good time with it.
That's great. So we've spoken on this podcast with a number of people who had to pivot during COVID, and you made a complete career change. So what was the big challenge for you making this change, both just making the change itself and doing it during COVID?
So yeah, it was a challenge. So, we've got 4 kids at home, and during COVID, they were remote learning. A couple are in college, and they kind of manage their own schedule, of course. But we had one in middle school and one in high school when COVID hit, and here they were at home, and my husband and I were going to work every day for long hours, I might add. So that became a really big challenge. So, one, it was great for me to just make the decision to stay home with them, give them a little guidance and an adult in the house. And then, I enjoyed being home, but then I thought, I need a profession. Banking just got old for me. It's a great industry, but you need a company that's really, progressing in the right ways. And so many banks are lacking. Some are really, really good. I've had some great experiences, but it was my time to leave. And so the pivot for me, one, it was at the beginning, a financial thing where I'm, here, right, I'm crossing the line where I'm earning a lot less and having to make an investment. And that's an adjustment. But then 2, I had to change the mindset of following all the rules and regulations, which in banking there are many, to creating my own rules and regulations. And I'm really enjoying that, actually. So I'm getting to be creative in a way that banking doesn't allow you to. And we're having fun with the marketing. We tried to do everything ourselves, so I even drew our company logo just so we wouldn't have to pay a designer to do it for us. So I'm getting to be creative in a new way, and that's just really exciting for me.
Fantastic. And yeah, and of course you're getting to be creative with the recipes as well. How did you decide on your product mix?
Well, I ordered a bunch. We found some distributors who bring in product from around the world, and I ordered samples of everything. So before we chose any types of oils, flavor infusions, vinegars, all those flavors, I cooked with every single one of them. I sampled them. I was doing shots of oil and vinegar all day, which is very good for you, but it was maybe a bit much, more than you needed, what I was doing. But sampling them, cooking with them. I started creating recipes around the samples I was getting and thought, this is going to be a good selling product. I would use it again, so I believe other people would. So it was just a lot of experimentation, and I really did take a few months and order quite a bit of product and decide, what we wanted to do. And I wanted to have a complement for every type of meat, every, your vegetables. I wanted them to be very diverse products that could be used for multiple dishes. So just made my list and picked out the top favorites.
Sounds very much like a wine tasting, matching the wine with the foods. You're matching the olive oils and vinegars with the proper foods.
That's right.
No, and you do have a lot of recipes on the site too that get people to try things out also. Are you going to have people kind of like submit things that they've made with your products, and maybe have like a guest section on there as far as here's how you can try these things out?
Oh, what a nice idea. I honestly would love to hear from people. And I have already. We've had people communicate with me after purchasing the products and tell me what they've made with it, and that they really enjoyed it. And I love hearing that feedback. So far, knock on wood, it's been all positive. So I love communicating with our customers, and some I know and some I don't. And that's great, that people are finding us that we don't know. So I encourage anyone, tag us in your online posts and tell us what you made with it. We'd love to see.
Yeah, maybe you can come up with a customer recipe of the month section on your website or something like that to give them a little bit of incentive to post things. And hey, you get a free bottle if you win, not that type of thing.
That's a nice idea. All right, we'll talk about that.
Eric and I are consultants, so we brainstorm a little bit. There we go.
So now you mentioned that you're getting the olive oils from all over the world. Have you had any difficulties with the supply chain issues?
Excellent question. Yes, we have. Our last order before we went live with the website, we were waiting for an order from Italy, and it sat for several weeks right off the coast. And we're like, so close, but so far, yes, it has been a bit of a challenge for us. I'm hoping those things are going to abate soon. So far, we haven't had any interruption with anything our customers have ordered and our ability to get it for them. So that's great. But I'm trying to place orders, before I really need them, just so I know that I have the inventory in stock. You adjust like anything else and try to make it work as best you can.
Yeah, in today's world, adjust and adapt are the key phrases. You're making almost a 180 switch from your banking background. You mentioned that you're engaging with customers, you're having people tag you on social media. Have you always had an interest in these other aspects of the business, or did you just jump in when you decided that this was the business you wanted to do?
No, this was a thrown into the deep end kind of thing for me. I have Facebook, and other than that, I'm not on social media too much. So it is definitely a learning curve, because right now everybody is thriving, through social media. So, I think we did a good job in finding a small business mentor. Friends of my husband's and mine, they own a business. It's a husband and wife, just like my husband and me, are trying to do this. And we went out to Las Vegas to visit them, and they gave us some excellent advice. And they let us know you got to be on all the social media. So we are now, and no, I'm in my learning curve, but fortunately, my husband is pretty savvy with this stuff, so he's been a big help.
Have you reached out at all? I mean, do you have any? Do you do any business with restaurants as far as supplying them with your products? Do you have any partnerships with them?
Not yet. So we have talked about, possibly some restaurants. We've talked about local grocery store chains, getting our product on their shelves. And we're calculating the timing of that, just so we can kind of get a good grasp on what business we're doing, right now through our own website. So we definitely want to be everywhere we can be. But we're trying to do it all with the right timing. So definitely in the future, that's a plan.
And you do have an excellent mix of products. I mean, for our listeners, to give an idea of what these olive oils are infused with, there's jalapeno infused, there's chipotle infused, blood orange infused, bacon infused. So it's a wide range. How did you find all of these?
They're, when one, I like to cook with all these. So, I've been to specialty stores before and I've purchased some and I find something new and I got to try it. But we found them just by working with the distributors that we found who offer wholesale olive oil. And I ordered samples of all these, unusual flavors and just really fun ones. Blood orange it's fantastic to bake with. You make beautiful cakes with that, and it just, that olive oil really. A lot of people cook with a corn oil or other vegetable oil in their cakes, and I'm like, no, switch over to olive oil. It's so much healthier, and the flavor that it brings out is just incredible. Really, it can do what the other vegetable oils can't. So just a lot of fun with experimentation, and if the wholesale offered something unusual, I wanted to be the one to try it. So, and we're offering some of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking a combination of the bacon infused olive oil and the garlic infused olive oil would make a great salad dressing. Yeah.
It certainly does. It certainly does. And in fact, I'm working out the combinations right now to introduce a line of dressings and marinades that we're going to bottle as such. So I'm going to be doing those combinations. And so stay tuned because that'll be on the website soon.
Fantastic. So you're already, how long have you been doing this?
It's only been a few months. I think we went live in April. So we've really only been selling a couple months.
And you're already expanding the product line. That's fantastic.
Yes, we're, on the one hand, I scare myself and I say, whoa, slow down a little bit. And then on the other hand, I'm like, no, but we've got really good ideas. And, and I make the salad dressings at my house and we have people over and they love them. And, if it's something I would buy, I figure other people would too. So we're going to slap a label on that and offer them.
Excellent. So what's your ultimate vision for all of this? Where do you want to see this go?
Well, we are trying to design that other than kind of be at its mercy. It's a good question. I don't want to go into it without a vision. So, where I kind of would like us to be in 5 years is booming online, perhaps one or two or more retail locations. We're gonna be driven a little bit by economic factors, of course, and we're gonna have to read that appropriately. But I would love to see us have a physical presence.
Excellent. Yeah, this really is a time for small businesses to start. Unfortunately, economic conditions say we may be heading into a recession, but historically, more successful small businesses are started during recessions than any other time.
That's
so
true.
Even though that that economic forecast can be a little scary, there's also hope that this is a good time to start a business.
Well, that's exactly the conversation my husband and I had. During the Civil War, when it was one of the most depressed economic times in our nation's history, a lot of companies began that are actually still with us today. So, we look at those things too, and we say, it's, is there any really perfect time to get into a business? You don't know until you try and see whether or not you're having some success. But we feel that if we work hard enough and gain a strong enough following, we're going to be okay. So we're jumping into the adventure, and so far we're having fun with it.
Yeah, well, obviously you both have the backgrounds to do this. You having been in the banking for so long, and your husband running the business also. So you're not really going in this green as far as how to do things business wise. It's just picking something, choosing the right time, and so on. And so sounds like you're off to a great start, but obviously you got that going for you. And a lot of people who go into the statistics of starting businesses that fail don't have the expertise that you have going in.
Well, we're hoping that comes through for us. That, again, I've had, the banking experience, and I've managed other businesses before I went into banking. It feels like a lifetime ago, but and of course my husband owns his own business. So yeah, he's got a great business head, and I've got the creativity, and together I think we'll do something wonderful with this.
Well, you'll definitely eat well.
Already are, yes, yeah.
When you said you sampled all of these oils and vinegars, which of them is your favorite?
Oh, it's so hard to choose. I will tell you, shameless plug here, I happen to have some product, but our L'Italiano, this one's from Italy, and the health properties are so very high in this one. The polyphenol count is very high, and just, so good for you, those antioxidants. So that's my favorite, everyday olive oil to cook with. But roasted onion is one of my favorite. I love the jalapeno. I look for any excuses to make, taco themed dishes, so I can use that one. Chipotle's got a really good kick to it. If you like your spicy kick, that's a great one. I can't choose. I love bacon. I love the onion. I love them all.
All right. You just mentioned that the Italiano's very high in polyphenols. For our listeners who are not familiar with that, can you explain what that is?
Certainly. So in extra virgin olive oil, and I will stress for your listeners, you must have certified extra virgin olive oil. A lot of what you buy in the grocery store is not extra virgin, even if it's labeled that way, and that's because of our FDA and how they allow labeling to occur. So you do want to find a certified version. So it'll tell you all of ours are certified extra virgin. Polyphenols are in high antioxidant foods, which you want to have an abundance of in your diet. There are phenol compounds. So in extra virgin olive oil, there are actually over 30 phenol compounds. And what those are, they're all different types of antioxidants that each do something specific in a good way for your body. So they can affect things like gut health, brain health, bone health, cardiovascular health. So all of these polyphenols, these are what you want to have in your extra virgin olive oil, because they're going to reap really good health benefits for your system. In the Mediterranean, everyone's talking about the Mediterranean diet right now. It's very popular. It's very high usage of extra virgin olive oil in that diet. And it's important to note that the people in the Mediterranean region who naturally follow this diet, they have longevity and really abundant health into their later years, much more so than we do here in America. So there's certainly something to that, and science is proving it. Every month there seems to be a new study that comes out and tells us about the wonderful effects of extra virgin olive oil. So we want to promote all of those things.
And this is a great example that eating healthy does not have to mean eating bland. There's a lot of flavor in these olive oils.
Absolutely. So they're also flavorful. You do not have to live on salads. You can have your meats. Everyone says, well, everything in moderation, but you can eat meat every day. I wouldn't recommend red meat every day, but a good lean meat. Have plenty of fish in your diet. A couple times a week at least. Extra virgin olive oil, you can use it to cook with, and it's going to give you the same properties as if you're sprinkling it on a salad. So no, you don't have to eat bland. We eat pretty flavorful food in my house, and we're all in pretty good health.
You said you had 6 kids, and as any parent knows,
we're a family.
Yeah. Sorry. 4 kids, and as any parent knows, it's difficult to get kids to eat different things. What have you been able to put together that they've absolutely loved?
Oh, well, there's a lot. So the story of our family is we are blended, my 2 kids and my husband's 2 kids. So that gives us 4. And my kids grew up eating just like I did. So really healthy, a lot of fish, lean meats. We love our salads. His kids didn't so much. So that became the challenge, is to, getting my two stepsons to really expand their diet and make it healthier. So that became my mission, actually. So I usually judge my dishes by how they react to it. My two kids, they'll eat anything you put in front of them. But we've been able to get even my pickiest stepson. He's eating vegetables now, because I season them with olive oil and our own custom blends, and he's eating them. So to me, this is a massive success. I make some really great kind of Southwestern themed casseroles, and they love those things. And you can make these rich casseroles that are also pretty healthy for you. So, again, there's such a world of culinary goodness out there that's good for you food, and it's just fantastically delicious. So, the kids are my barometer. But I make a white sauce lasagna with chicken. So, quite a different take on lasagna, and the kids love that. So, there's a lot of fun to be had with this stuff.
Are they interested in helping out with the cooking too, or just being the consumers?
My daughter likes to help me a little bit. The boys, we got 3 boys and 1 girl. My daughter likes to help me, but the boys are like, just feed me.
Sounds about right.
All right. Well, we are just about out of time. So if our listeners want to place an order, how can they do so?
Go straight to olivethistle.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here. It was great talking to you. Chip, what do you think is the big takeaway from this episode?
First of all, congratulations on getting this going. I mean, obviously, this is a labor of love. It's a labor of necessity, because we all have to eat. And it's just so wonderful that you're doing this. And obviously, it's a great inspiration for a lot of other people out there. So I wish you the best, and whatever we can do to help you spread the word, we're here to help you out. Obviously, our network. So.
Well, thank you so much, both of you. I've enjoyed talking with you and getting to promote our business a little, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was great having you. I think for me, there's a couple of takeaways. One is just the switch from banking to a food retail business. It shows, you're not stuck with one career. You can reinvent yourself, move forward, have fun with your business. And the other big takeaway is, yes, you can have a passion and eat healthy and eat well and have all these flavors. And it's great combining all of that. So it's a great example of what people can do. You've been listening to the Success Showcase. You can catch us every week at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and wherever you find podcasts. Remember, make this your best week ever and make next week even better. We'll see you then.